Guys, this is Russ. Welcome back to the estate. We're ready to go to chapter 11. We're getting close to the end, but I want to recap chapter 10 for you. Chapter 10 was pretty interesting. Anna decides she wants to go down the basement, but as you recall, Anna is wheelchair bound, so she falls down the basement and is stuck there for a little while with no light. She can't reach the pole light. She's stuck down there, but she tends to find some interesting things there. And she finds a journal, Jimmy's journal, and that he wrote years ago, decades ago. And it has some really key information about a girl that he once loved and disappeared. So get comfortable, guys, grab a drink, and enjoy the next chapter. We're winding down. Chapter 11, The Hummingbird. Roger stayed overnight and made Anna breakfast the next morning. It was a Monday, and he had to leave early to beat the traffic to work. "Oh, I wish I could call in sick," he lamented, "but I have a meeting with my boss today that I can't miss. Can I trust you to keep yourself safe, Anna? Should I buy you a nerdy phone holster to keep it within reach?" Anna laughed. "You're a funny man, Roger. It was gallant of you to come to the castle and save me. However, I will try not to require your knight in shining armor services again, if I can help it. I love you." She kissed him, and he hugged her tightly. "I love you too," he replied. "Stay out of trouble." And off he went to work. Ruby was late for the first time. It seemed like Roger would never get to meet her. When she arrived, she was soaking wet. It was pouring rain outside. Anna grabbed a towel and tossed it to her. "Hope you're okay, Ruby. I can't wait to tell you about my adventure last night. It was a series of mistakes, and I got locked in the basement." "I'm okay. I just had to do something this morning." "Locked in the basement? Wow, what happened?" "First of all, remind me to get you a key for you," Anna responded. Then she went on to tell Ruby about her adventure and what she discovered. "I found a hummingbird brooch and a journal that may have been Jimmy's. The weirdest thing was first seeing that journal in a dream. There's a lot to go through in the book, but I want to research the pin first. It's remarkable." Ruby suggested they go through the family photos again to see if anyone was wearing the brooch. For weeks, Anna and Ruby had been going through the photographs. They printed the names of the people they knew on the back and an approximate year the picture was taken. Anna created a presentation board on the wall in the library with pinned up pictures, cards and questions, news articles, and resources available. It looked like something the FBI would do when solving a crime. Many of the family members were identified. The oldest pictures were of Harold and Nora, the original owners. "Eureka!" Anna yelled. "I found a picture of Nora with the brooch." "I also always wanted to use the word eureka in the right context." "Ha ha," Ruby laughed. So far, they had tracked down details on several people: a dog, a basket, a gun, and a pair of earrings. How hard could it be to find out about a hummingbird pin? Anna loved hummingbirds. They were so unique in the way they flew and how they hovered. She watched them in the garden for hours at a time. They made their buzzing noises, fought with each other, and were not afraid of people. The buddleia bush near the rear patio was a favorite food source for them. It was exciting to see their magnificent coloration. They were ruby-throated hummingbirds, and the males stood out the most. Anna researched jewelry from the early 1900s and discovered that her hummingbird pin was part of a larger collection. It was created by a family of jewelry designers from Vienna, Austria. After further investigation, Anna learned that the family had been designing and selling jewelry for over 100 years. They also had a current New York City address. Now it looked like a road trip would be in order. Lieblich Jewelry operated out of a small suite on Madison Avenue and 47th Street. Anna enlisted her dad, John Collins, to take her in since he had worked in Manhattan for many years and knew his way around. She was concerned about him having to push her through the city blocks, but he did great. He loved the feeling of having a purpose and missed the hustle and bustle of New York City where he once worked. The Lieblich business was an appointment only and sold high-end handcrafted silver and gold accessories. Anna had a 9 a.m. appointment, and she and her dad planned to have a nice lunch later. Ruby Lieblich met them at the door, and they settled into his office. Anna took the brooch out of a velvet bag and placed it on the desk. Rudy's jaw dropped out at sight of it. This was the work of my great-grandfather. Only 4 of them remain in existence. My family still has 2 of them for display. I was asked to recreate more, but I never wanted to copy the art of another. It would be disrespectful. Rudy went on with his story. It's a beautiful piece, and it has some history. The pins were created in 1912 for the family of Archduke Ferdinand of Austria. In 1914, Serbian nationalists assassinated the Archduke and his wife, and war was declared in Serbia. It was effectively the beginning of the First World War. The pins disappeared and reappeared over the years. In 1945, some were found with stolen artwork that was recovered from the Nazis. Others had been in private hands since the early 1900s. We are lucky to have 2 of them in the store today. The pins were not just hummingbird pins. There was an old story in my family about people wearing those pins during the German occupation of France during World War I. It was a signal that they were the people who could help others escape to freedom. It's an exceptional story, although I don't have all the details. By the way, would you be willing to part with it? We will pay you handsomely. Anna leaned in and picked up the pin from the desk. Maybe someday, but I'll keep it for now. Thank you for taking the time to tell us about it. Anna looked at her dad as they were leaving. I need you to take me to one more place on the way home. We can grab something to eat at a rest stop. Really? He frowned. I thought we were going to have lunch in the city. Sorry, Dad, Anna replied. We need to see Roger at the archives. I want to find out more about the Brooch ladies and the World War I story. Anna's dad drove her to the National Archives office and parked the car. He was happy to have some one-on-one time with her and see that she was in good spirits once more. Roger met them in the lobby. He was elated to see her, although a bit surprised by her unexpected visit. It was going to be weird for Anna. She was returning to her place of work, but not like before. She didn't want any former coworkers to feel bad about her. She did not want sympathy or even empathy. Of course, she was happy to see everyone again, and they were happy to see her. She was now a person with a disability, but she had the same indomitable spirit that she had before. People could sense it. After making the rounds to see old colleagues, Anna was overwhelmed by their graciousness. She realized it must be awkward for them too, seeing a teammate return in a wheelchair. Still, their warmth was comforting. After a while, they went into the conference room with Roger. He had a nice lunch brought in for them. No rest stop hot dogs today, John told Roger with a laugh. Roger turned on the launch screen while Anna managed the keyboard. It felt good, like she was back on the job. There was a great deal of information about France during the expansion of Germany. The French people were desperate for ways to escape German occupation. Certain women in town wore pins that depicted birds. Birds symbolized freedom. Birds on the pins were not just hummingbirds, but many other species. The women who wore the pins could help people escape. Eventually, the Underground Railroad of sorts was exposed and shut down. All but one of the bird brooch ladies were rounded up and jailed. Most were never heard from again. One lady who escaped eventually got to England and started an organization to support refugees. Her name was Eleanor Cool. Anna looked up from the keyboard. Okay, let's find out more about Eleanor Cool. Her name rhymes with cool, and I'm sure she was. The records revealed that Eleanor lived to the age of 93 in London, England. She was survived by one daughter by the name of Nora. Nora eventually married an Englishman named Harold Sumner. Eleanor herself had a tough time escaping occupied France. She was interviewed in 1930 and told quite a story. When the Nazis discovered her scheme, they searched for her, but she eluded them. It helped that she could speak fluent German, as that was her heritage. She traveled at night and eventually cut her long hair off like a young German soldier. She put on a German uniform that she took off a dead soldier. It had the stench of blood and decay. At the border, she joined a German unit that was being captured by the Allies. When she revealed herself as one of the famous Brooch ladies, she was given a hero's welcome. Anna was amazed by the story. It was something worthy of a book or a movie. Nora's mom helped save thousands of people during the First World War. This beautiful brooch that she had held in her hand was a beacon that led people to safety. Anna thought it was an amazing coincidence that the tiny hummingbird featured on the brooch is known for its resilience and tenacity in the natural world. Later that afternoon, Anna was relaxing in the kitchen with a cup of tea. As she reflected on the incredible story of Nora Summon, she noticed a beautiful hummingbird dining on the trumpet vine outside her window. What an amazing bird, she thought.